People say every vote counts, and on paper, yes, it does. But in the United States, some votes are more important than others. I'm talking about battleground states, also known as swing states. These are not Republican or Democrat. They swing from one election to the next. You win these states, you win the White House. That's how it works. And how many such states are there? 6 of them. And Donald Trump is leading in 5. In Pennsylvania, he leads by 3 points. In Arizona, 7 points. Michigan, 7. Georgia, 10. And Nevada, 12. Joe Biden leads only in one swing state, and that is Wisconsin. He has a 2-point lead. Now, the president's campaign has rejected these polls. They say they're inconsistent. They also point to other polls that show Biden in the lead. I guess politicians are the same everywhere. But Biden cannot ignore the numbers. In the 2020 election, he won these 6 states. That's how he beat Donald Trump. But his winning margin was quite low, around 300,000 votes. That's it. 3 lakh votes spread across 6 states. So Trump is quite confident. He thinks he can overturn this deficit. And Trump has 2 things working for him. First, his trial is not affecting his poll numbers. Trump is facing around 91 charges in court. His trial is getting non-stop television coverage. It seems to be helping him. His voters don't care about the cases. A similar survey was conducted in November. That too showed the same numbers. So criminal case or not, his support base is solid. In fact, Donald Trump has used his trial as a campaign tool. He's attacking judges, lawyers, and Democrats all in one go.
But we have a corrupt judge, and we have a judge who's highly conflicted, and he's keeping me from campaigning. He's an appointed New York judge. He's appointed. You know who appointed him? Democrat politicians. He's appointed. He's a corrupt judge, and he's a conflicted judge, and he ought to let us go out and campaign and get rid of this scam.
Classic Trump. So that's one of the reasons why he seems to be leading the court cases. Second, Biden's coalition is eroding. In 2020, he had 3 major support groups. Joe Biden had 3 major support groups: young voters, black voters, and Hispanics. All 3 are slowly ditching him. Young voters do not like his approach to Gaza. Black voters worry about the rising cost of living, and Hispanics disapprove of his border policy. Now, these voters propelled Biden to the White House, but 4 years on, they're wary. Many of them may not turn up to vote. A small number may even vote for Donald Trump. The same poll shows 20% support for Trump among black voters. 20%. If it holds, it could be a record. No Republican has scored that high since the 1960s, and Joe Biden knows all of this. He's focusing more on his traditional voters.
We represent how we are as a nation of immigrants, a nation of dreamers, a nation of freedom. When Trump was in office, he enacted a $2 trillion tax cut, overwhelmingly benefiting the super wealthy and the very biggest corporations. That exploded the federal debt. And he brags about cutting Roe v. Wade, making sure it's overturned. But Kamala and I are going to keep fighting to restore Roe v. Wade until it's the law of the land again.
The talking points are clear: immigration policy, tax on the super rich, and abortion rights. These are things that set him apart from Donald Trump. The major policy differences. And yes, Americans do feel deeply about all these issues, but elections often go beyond issues. They also depend on excitement. And Joe Biden, at 81 years of age, is not able to generate that. Let's go to the same poll. Around 70% voters say the country's system should be changed, both political and financial. But not many expect Biden to be able to do it. Only 13% of his own supporters think that Biden will enact major changes in his second term. They also admit that Trump would shake things up. And that's a big selling point. Biden's term looks a lot like America of the old, stuck in foreign wars, focused heavily on Europe and grappling with high inflation. Hence these polling numbers. It's actually a sort of role reversal. Joe Biden won in 2020 because of an anti-Trump wave. The voters said anyone but Trump. And it did not matter who. Now the same effect is hurting Biden. The question is, can he make a comeback? Well, Joe Biden's campaign has a large lead in finances. He's raised more money than any US candidate. Plus, he's got star campaigners. Hollywood actors are raising money for him. Former presidents are ganging up. So Biden does have a few aces up his sleeve. He's also going big on protecting American industry. It's probably the only thing that Biden and Trump have in common. The president has announced new tariffs on China. Chinese electric vehicles will be taxed 100%. Lithium batteries, 25%. Critical minerals, 25%. Solar cells, 50%. And semiconductors, also 50%. Now, these are all major tariffs, almost Trump-like. They will increase the burden on American customers, but in the long run, they could help U.S. industries. Even Trump likes it.
It was announced last night that Biden finally listened to me. He listens to me. You know, he does a lot of things. He listens about, he's about 4 years late. But he says he's going to put a 100% tariff on all Chinese electric vehicles. Isn't that nice? Should have done this 4 years ago.
He's got a point there. Trump prefers an all-out trade war with China. Biden had promised careful competition. But this move will trigger retaliation from Beijing, maybe even lead to a trade war. So is the president taking a page out of Trump's book? And if so, will it work? It's a long wait till November to find out.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison LaGrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change, to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.